Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Jennifer Catcheway. She was 18 years old when she disappeared on her own birthday, June 19th, 2008. She had left a note the day before she was going to go visit a cousin, and I believe a call on the 19th itself that she would be back in the evening, but she never actually arrived, and the mother fairly early on tried to make a missing persons report, which was not handled correctly. At least people were dismissive of her reports, which happens very often with First Nation women going missing. They basically said, well, she's an adult, she's probably gone out drinking, she'll come back, she's probably drunk somewhere. Any type of excuse along those lines were given. The mother received a phone call from the uncle's wife. I believe that would be the uncle whose child cousin she was trying to visit. And that call apparently motivated the mom even more, although I don't even know what was being said. I couldn't find anything about the call, what the content of the call was, what was being exchanged. But about 4 to 5 days later, after she disappeared, there was actually a statement taken, and that's the point where she was officially reported missing. Now, this uncle and cousin, she was actually spotted with them, and they were seen getting into a truck. The uncle said that he dropped her off somewhere along Highway 6 around Waterhead Junction, and that was the last time that they had seen her. Now, the uncle and cousin were interrogated in relation to this disappearance, but they were also released, so nothing really came of that. And the uncle was murdered several years later, so we can't ask him any questions more about this disappearance. Now, the mom got another phone call many years later that she might want to search the area around the Dakota teepee, and that screams had been heard in that area around the time that she had gone missing. So she went and did that. The leaders of that Dakota teepee initially were not super happy about that they were in there with excavators, but they had a talk about it afterwards, and she was allowed to continue searching. Unfortunately, didn't find anything, so whether she was or wasn't there, we'll never know. And in 2020, they were given an anonymous map, and they went to that specific location that was supposed to be where she was going to be found, and they found nothing again, so it's very disappointing. Also, the mother actually is currently battling COVID. As far as I heard, she is being kept in a coma because she's not doing too well, but hopefully she'll pull through, so that's another hit against them, sadly. Today we want to take a look if the tarot can give us any more information about this case. We're going to start off with the Wise Dog Tarot, which is currently on the table. It's this one. And for further questions, we're going to move on to the Tarot Mucha, which is this one right here. Now, as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the cards, and whatever comes out, comes out. And if I have a good amount of cards on the table, I'll stop and then we can take a look at it together. So without much further ado, I'm just going to get started. So let's see what we get. Okay, let's see what we got here. I actually got an extra one down here because I felt like the story wasn't quite complete. Well, we'll get to that once we get there. We're starting off with the Six of Cups and the Queen of Swords, followed by the Emperor. Now, this lineup seems to me like her and her uncle for some reason, because you do have the childhood connection, the connection from the past. Six of Cups is often like a melancholy type of thing, remembering people from the past, perhaps also just wanting to hang out with them again because it had maybe been a while, something along those lines. It's like that type of like, oh, that we haven't done that in a long time, why don't we do that again? So the Queen of Swords over here, I think, is representing Jennifer in a sense that it is a card of somebody who is very strong-willed, also tends to think things through, very methodical, and followed by the Emperor, who also has a sword in the background, which is interesting combination, but the Emperor is more of a authority type of thing. So even though she was there with her Queen of Swords energy, she did look up to the uncle, I believe, in this sense, Like he did hold a certain position of authority in her life. So even though she has plans, she is looking at him like, okay, it's your thing here. You can tell me what we're going to do next because you're in control. You're the elder and you tell us what we're going to do next. Whatever you say goes. But still she has her own mind. Now we see here the Magician reversed and Temperance reversed next to the Five of Swords. This seems to me like we're fighting about something. Somebody lost their temper, we're fighting. And the Magician is also almost like a lack of agency, I want to say. Like certain things that could have been done better were not done better. They could have perhaps behaved better. This conflict could have been avoided had they maybe not been immature about certain things. It's not perhaps the right word, but it's more like if a conflict is brewing, there are ways to avoid it, and for whatever reason they decided to have the conflict anyway. So that was a lapse in judgment, perhaps or possibly on both people's side. So tempers were lost, and then we have an argument here. Then we get the Devil and the Six of Swords, followed by Strength. But first I'm going to grab these two. So the Devil, as you can see in this card over here, is somebody who is holding all the resources and all the cards, and the others are only really allowed to have any other resources if they choose, because they will determine what happens next. But we do see the Six of Swords, so this almost seems to me like, hey, you know what, you can go out there and do it yourself if you want. Like, oh, if you don't like it, why don't you get out and start walking? That's the type of thing I'm seeing here, because the Six of Swords is normally like a letting the universe guide you type of thing. It's also a travel card, so it feels like the argument went to a certain point where the uncle was like, well, whose car is this? And if you don't like it, this is my car, you can get out. That's the type of thing that I'm feeling here. Then we see Strength and a Page of Wands, which is, I believe, a very headstrong energy combination. So let's just grab these two real quick. There we go. So Strength and the Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands is very head over heels, just does whatever comes to mind. I think in this case she said, you know what, that's fine, I'll pull over, I'll get out here, which would explain why she got out in that strange location, just in the middle of the highway, even though she didn't really know anybody there as far as I'm aware, had no business there. But maybe she's like, okay, well, whatever, just pull over, I'll get out, and then whatever, I'll take care of myself. I'm 18, I can do things, you know, I don't need your help, that type of thing. So that position of the Emperor was lost in that sense, because she took control of her own life. Next we see here Knight of Wands, which is more of the fiery head over heels energy with the Fool, because the Fool came out last, but I felt like I needed an extra card, so this one didn't quite fit in on table. So I'm going to grab these two. And number 3 over here, the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of activity, a lot of energy. Can I hold all 3 of them like this? There you go. So the Fool, just wandering off, doing her own thing, and she has a lot of fiery energy to back up that wandering off into the wilderness type of thing. Although she's not going to be wandering off straight into the wilderness, but like doing her own thing. Maybe she thought she could just hitchhike, maybe she thought she could catch a ride with somebody, maybe she thought she could call somebody and have them pick him up, something along those lines. Or maybe she heard about events in that area that she could have gone to, that she would rather go to rather than spend more time in the car with the uncle that she may have had an issue with. So this is very much free-spirited energy, just doing whatever she wants because she can. Just like the dog on the Eight of Wands there, just flying off into whatever adventure awaits. And that's where the Knight of Wands comes in, because the Knight is very fiery. You can see the fiery horses in the bottom there, which is usually the top, but because it's upside down, you have to look down here with my thumb. So basically just this whole fire energy of, I'm just going to go and do my own thing. We're going to be okay because I know my way around places. I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm whatever it is that she would be telling herself that she would be, that would make it that she would make it home on her own. Quite stubbornly so. So it looks like she got out of the car because of an argument, and then what? Because this is obviously not the entire story. This is just what leads up to it. So I'm gonna go over to the Tarot Mucha to figure out how she ended up disappearing, because this doesn't seem like she wanted to disappear for good, like strike out on her own in an entirely new life. More like, I'll just get out of this situation and be my own boss. So let's see if we can find anything about what came next, how she ended up disappearing. We have a reversed King of Wands, so this might be somebody who picked up on her energy that she ended up finding while she was out there on her own, and who probably saw that fire and thought, hey, I can use this. So somebody came into the picture who saw her there and noted the adventurous spirit, perhaps, and felt like he could either help or hinder, but in any case, he connected to that. Who do we have here? Oh, no. This is the Five of Swords again. So we have another argument. So she's still in an argumentative phase, but this is more of a negative argument because it's in reverse. This is an argument that she couldn't win by the looks of things. So even though, well, she was being trumped here because she came out with the Knight of Wand energy and she ends up encountering a King of Wands. So that one's a little bit more feisty and also argumentative, and she's also in a mood to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. So they have another argument. So this person she runs into did not have a positive confrontation. What else? Then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is an opportunity, and the Star in reverse. So I believe as a result of this argument, whoever it is that is being represented by the King of Wands saw an opportunity for themselves, and the Star reversed. People who've watched multiple readings of mine will know that I tend to see the Star reversed as somebody's star going down, and it might be in reference to whatever happened to her next. So it seems as though he had plans and that came to her detriment. Let's see if we can find anything else. The next one is Death in reverse. So that is not letting something go, because normally death's like end of a chapter, new beginnings, closing something off, but this is more like not being able to. So with this lineup so far, it almost seems like whatever it is that they were planning, she may have tried to fight it, and instead of being able to get out of that and move on to something else, that was not an option. Getting a lot of major arcana right now. We have the World in reverse, so disappearing from the World's Eye, along with the Star over here also going down, and we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, so that is tired of fighting and possibly giving up. So the fiery energy that she had worked against her, and eventually she burnt up and could no longer fight back. So this definitely seems like a kidnapping situation. Like, she thought initially that she could just strike out on her own, but she was overpowered by somebody who had more energy, and then she was able to fight, who had plans for her that she was not in agreement with. I don't even really see an initial agreement there either, because it's immediately a confrontation with that Five of Swords. Okay, so next we have the Magician over here and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's fairly resourceful, as with most Pentacles, but it's a methodical planner, and I think this might mean that, particularly with the combination of the Magician, that this person had been looking for somebody to do whatever it is that they wanted with this Pentacle over here, the Ace of Pentacles. So this might be somebody who was not new to mistreating and kidnapping young women. So this might actually be the sign of a serial I want to say rapist, but I don't know, killer. You know, there's quite a few out there that will go and look for women who are out there by themselves, so she may become victim of one of them. Okay, so that seems to be the story so far. Let's see if we can get anything more information, like where is she now? Can we find her? Will we find her? Oh, relax. That's too many. I'm going to shuffle this small stack separately, but I do have a few other cards that fell already, so we'll take a look at them first. First, I want to get everybody back in line, because currently this is a bit of a mess. That'll. Okay, so the first one that fell out is this one that has the moon in reverse, so that is secrets actually coming to light. And we have the Two of Wands, so that is somebody looking to travel, perhaps people setting out on certain things, exploring new options. So I think somebody who is on this case is going to try a new tack, perhaps, to try and find out more information, and eventually that's going to uncover some more secrets, because the moon normally hides these things, but if it's in reverse, then we will get whatever is laying beneath in the dark of the lake, so to speak, is going to come rising to the top. So whoever is currently in this Two of Wands energy, or will it be in this Two of Wands energy, will lead to secrets being uncovered. Let's see if we can get from this little stack over here. Whoop, okay. So all of them really want to be on the table, so we're going to have to look at all of them. Fix this again. Okay, so the first one that came out was this one. This is the Five of Cups, which is like a pensive mood, meditative state, maybe also regretting. I'm getting a slight feeling of regret here. Somebody is just remembering whatever it is that's bothering them, and it's put them in this reflective state, I want to say. So this might be this person. It could also be a reference to whomever took her, that they are currently thinking about their deeds and perhaps thinking about coming clean. We have the Page of Cups here in reverse, which is no surprises. Normally the Page of Cups is a quick surprise, or it could be a negative surprise. Perhaps something is going to shock them out of whatever status quo they find themselves in right now, to be motivated to do the right thing. We see here the Eight of Cups, which is walking away from something, choosing another direction perhaps. So whoever is getting this shock over here might now feel like they need to do something else, like something has changed, something has shifted, and now it's time to walk away from whatever it is that they decided to hide from. And I'm getting the impression that it might not be the person themselves, but perhaps somebody who knows them, because what I see here is more cups energy. We started off with the Eight of Cups, now we got the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups right next to each other. So this almost seems like a follow-up, like, okay, if they choose another route, perhaps they can let go of a lot of emotional baggage, is the word I'm looking for, and then perhaps lead a better life. Like they're sitting on top of a secret, and they need to get rid of it, not just for the sake of Jennifer's family, but also for their own sake. Like they just want to get that off their chest. It's something that they've been living with for ages, even though they might not be directly involved, and just doing a good thing about actually going out there and reporting it, as difficult as that might be, is going to lift that weight off their shoulders and make them feel a lot better. Alright, so the next card is this one. It is Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so that's going to cause her some changes. Changes might already be on their way. And we have here the Eight of Wands. So, but the Eight of Wands in this case is in reverse. So it might be that they're currently looking for some way to communicate, but they're not really able to do so. Or they're currently frustrated and can't complete any actions that they want to take. But the Wheel of Fortune is saying that that's probably going to end up changing at some point. So the Wheel of Fortune is going to make it so that whatever action that they have been keeping themselves from taking may eventually come about anyway. So we'll see somebody stepping forward is what this is starting to look like. Like this person may have been sitting on this for some time, because you can see two dogs here. This dog is kind of just looking ahead, but this one's like, I can't really do anything because he's literally above me and not making me, or not allowing me to do the things that I want. And this dog over here looks as though they've actually lost an eye. So this is probably something that they've been living with for some time that's actually been wrecking things in their own life as well. So that's what they're kind of meditating on. But as secrets come to light with the moon reversed and this page of cups kind of jarring them emotionally, they are going to try and set out to do the right thing. That is what I'm seeing for this case. Hope you found that interesting and helpful. In any case, make sure to leave a like. That really helps the channel along. And hopefully I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.